Alright lads, so here we are with another F1 2015 mod. Today we'll be driving Daniel Ricciardo's RB11 around the Barcelona circuit in Catalunya. So we're trying out the Dazzle camo as well, made by Arava. You can go check out the link in the description if you want to go check out that download and use it for yourself. So this is the F1 2014 game. We're doing a 50% race starting from the back. The race strategy is a two-stop option prime option. However, what makes this race different is that we're doing this from Grand Prix mode, so we should see reduced tyre wear, a faster car essentially, and hopefully it should be a pretty good race. We're starting from the back, if I haven't mentioned that already. We can see the two Saubers right in front of us, including Nazar and Ericsson. So here we go, the Barcelona Spanish Grand Prix, 5 red lights, and away we go here in Catalunya. Actually getting off to a decent start there. I wonder if that's down to the increased mechanical grip we get in Grand Prix mode, but either way I'm not complaining. We're up into P16 now as we head into turn 1. We're going to take it nice and easy because we do have realistic damage to contend with, so that just means if we touch any of the AI cars with our front wing, that just means that the end plates are probably going to just blow off there, so got to be extra careful. It rewards realistic driving, I suppose, and it just prevents us from just diving up the inside of a million cars. But so far up in a P11, so it's been a really good start here. Next up is Kimi Räikkönen, and we can see a big train of cars right in front of us as Perez and Räikkönen going pretty slowly there. Massa trying to go up the inside of Vettel there. Don't think it's quite worked out for him though, as we go up the inside of a Force India there. Just get the move done, and we get past Massa as well, who was going pretty slowly there on the apex, trying to get past, I think it was Vettel, I'm not too sure. Now Kvyat right in front of us in P6, he's going a bit slowly through turn 9. But yeah, so far good start. We've gone from 18th up to a 7th. So only 18 cars in this Grand Prix because Marussia and Caterham unfortunately won't be contesting this year's championship as far as I know this year. But so far going through the middle or third sector now, we're catching up to the back of our teammate once again. We might edge it up the inside here. He leaves the room, and we're not going to take a second invite. Up the inside, leaving room on the exit, and job done into P6, I think we are now. So that's the end of the first lap done. Next up is Sebastian Vettel, so my team bosses will be urging me on to get past Vettel and give him a bit of a wave as we go past as well. Up the inside into the final chicane. This seems to be a good hunting spot for us here. We seem to be making up a lot of time through the middle and third sector. First sector, not so much. I think we lose a little bit of time through turn 3. But so far, we do have a bit of pace in this Grand Prix so far. Next up is Lewis Hamilton, and we'll be looking to catch up to him as soon as we can. But now Hülkenberg is coming back at us with his Mercedes power and his straight line speed. With the help of DRS, is just enough for him to get past and back up into the podium position. We actually do a counter-attacking move back up the inside into turn 1. I was a little bit unsure with that move since Hülkenberg was in the middle of the road, but we got the move done regardless. So lap 9 coming in for our first pit stop now. We're going on to the primes, I believe, and we've just come in 1 lap earlier just to go onto the undercut and just try and make up some positions and possibly start a battle with the leaders, including the 2 Mercedes cars, and I think I don't know who else is up there in the lead, but someone is actually leading, but it's not a Mercedes car, I know that much. So whoever that is, they're showing a lot of pace so far. But either way, lap 10 we can see the rest of the midfield runners and I guess front runners are now making their pit stops, and it looks like the majority of them are actually going to jump me here. So we've got some work to do in this next stint, just getting past our teammate there, back up into P9. Next up is Vettel, but we're going to get a bit of dirty air here through turn 3. It just happens when you're following through a high-speed corner on this game. You just suffer with a bit of dirty air, but either way, next lap we've caught up to the back of Vettel using DRS to good effect and back up into P5 as the majority of the field have now made their pit stops. Everyone at least who started on the options. So lap 16 now, we've caught up to the back of Nico Hülkenberg once again, who were battling in the first stint, and up the inside we go, back up into P4. Job done. Next up is Lewis Hamilton, so we'll be trying to catch him as soon as we can. For some reason, normally this is the stage of the Grand Prix where I start to drop off, but because it's Grand Prix mode and there's sort of less tyre wear due to more upgrades on the car, we're actually now on the attack. So this is a nice refreshing change to career mode where we can actually go on the attack and chase down the Mercedes cars. We can see Hamilton, he's all over the place at the moment. He's on prime tyres that are 1 lap fresher than us, so for us to actually catch and potentially pass the Mercedes on this lap, this is a testament to how well we've looked after the tyres so far, despite how bad they look on the tyres there. But Hamilton trying to go for a move on Rosberg, he backs out of it, brakes early, and that concedes his position to us into P2 now. So lap 18, we finally caught up to the back of Rosberg now. He's going defensive into the 3rd sector, into the hairpin here, and we hold it around the outside, do we? Only just. What a move that was, around the outside of Rosberg on degrading tyres. Lap 20, we now have the lead of the Grand Prix. I'm just showing you just the load that goes through the tyres in turn 3. It's a real testing corner, and you can see on the tyres there just the detail that this mod brings, the HD tyre textures. And you can see a few flat spots both on the front and the rear tyres, and that's just down to a few lockups I've had in trying to overtake people and maybe just braking on when going over ripple strips as well. So that's resulted in a bit of tyre damage, but in saying that, it hasn't really cost us too much in terms of tyre wear. Lap 21, Hamilton is now coming back at us. He was actually the fastest guy in the field through this middle stint, but he got screwed over by trying to get in front of Rosberg, and he conceded a place to us. He then got in front of Rosberg, and now he's in front of us now, so he's taking the lead. Unfortunately, he skipped out a bit of a lead after that, and now he's coming in on lap 22 for his final pit stop. He's going for, I guess, the undercut strategy. I'm just trying to stretch out these primes to lap 23 so that I can run options to the very end of the race. So essentially from here on, Hamilton is probably going to have the lead here thanks to the undercut, but now we're coming in, and so too is Rosberg. So it's essentially a battle of the pit crews here between Red Bull and Mercedes. Hopefully we can have a good one here. No, it's going to be a 4 or 5 second pit stop here as we get held for the Mercedes crew. Rosberg just getting out in front of us, and now Hamilton is going to jump us here massively. He had the undercut, and now because we got held by about 2 seconds, Hamilton now has about a 5 or 6 second lead now. Daniel Kvyat is now up in a P5 after being around P10 in the middle stint. So Daniel has had a bit of an up and down race so far this race. He started in P2, dropped to P10, and now he's back on the pace again in P5. But now at the end of lap 24, we're going up the inside of Rosberg here because we just can't afford to stay behind him for any longer. We want to try and attack Hamilton and try and win this race. You can see he's setting purple lap times at the moment at 23.5. We'll see on the next lap just what kind of pace we can deliver, as now Valtteri Bottas right on cue is coming out of his pit bay now and into the fast lane, and there we go. We just got in front of him. He's going to hold up Rosberg a little bit, but I assume Rosberg is going to get in front of him as well. So from here on in, through to the end of the race, we're just trying to chase down Hamilton as much as we can, setting 123s, going purple every single lap to the field, and now you can see we're just catching up to him by about 7 or 8 tenths a lap. And now, just on the team radio, my engineer just told me that Hamilton is now into lean revs. So he was burning a lot of fuel early on in the race and possibly early on in this stint, and now he's in a lot of fuel trouble. So he's saving a lot of fuel right throughout the track. We're catching him by over a second a lap now, so we could potentially win this race now. We just need to keep pushing as much as we can. We can see a Sauber has now got in the way of Hamilton, and this could potentially win us this race here. We can see we move to the inside to let Nazar know that we are coming through, state our intentions early, and he just holds us up a little bit there, so that's cost us 3 tenths on that previous lap there. It's the final lap now. Hamilton, the gap is 8 tenths, but we don't have DRS, so that's the crucial thing there. We didn't get that free kick in terms of lap time with the opening of the rear flap, but now we have DRS, the back straight coming into the final few corners of the final lap. Oh, the gap is 5 tenths. We just need to get close to Hamilton and maybe dive it up the inside coming into this final chicane. We've been chasing him down so much. The tyres, you know, they're not going off, to be honest. They feel, you know, fairly decent at this stage, but Hamilton is just far away enough for us not to have a dive up the inside, and I think he's just going to get away with this one. He's all over the place, losing the rear end. We're losing the rear end as well. Hamilton, he's a very, very lucky boy today, just winning the Spanish Grand Prix. We've come home in second, and that was a pretty damn good race. Even though we didn't win it, I think, you know, that was so good. And it's such a different change from career mode, where normally we're just a passenger in terms of the tyre wear. It was really good today to just go on the attack and try and chase down the Mercedes, starting from last place. You know, if I had to put anything down to it that cost us that race, it was getting held up in the pits by Nico Rosberg. So essentially, Mercedes won themselves the race by pitting Rosberg at the same time as me. But either way, that doesn't bother me too much. It's just a one-off race. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. Let me know what tracks you'd like me to try next in this mod. Maybe different drivers, different teams. I'm open to ideas, so leave it down in the comment section below and I'll get along to doing it fairly soon. So also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to see more F1 2015 mod videos. I do career mode, I do online races, all these different kind of things. I might even be dabbling into Project Cars in a few weeks' time, so stay tuned for that. The next video should be career mode at Hungary, so stay tuned for that. And until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time.